have some big breaking coming in right now. We are learning that acting President Ranil Wickremesinghe has issued a statement. And in which he's saying that armed forces have been instructed to bring the situation under control. Let's listen in.
එතුමා රටින් පිට වෙලා අපි ජනාධිපතිවරයෙක් තෝරන්න පියවර ගත්තත් විශේෂයෙන්ම ස්ථාවේදී එන සතියේදී ඒ සඳහා නිල වර්ණය පවත්වන්නටත් මන්ත්‍රීවරුන්ට ආරක්ෂාව දෙන්නටත් අපි තීරණයක් අරගත්තා. සර්වපාක්ෂික ආණ්ඩුවක් ඇති කරන්නට යන අවස්ථාවේදී අගමැතිකමින් ඉවත් වෙන බවටත් මම ප්‍රතිඥාවක් දුන්නා. ඒ අනුව ආපහු සිකුරාදා රැස් වෙන්න කියලා අපි විසිරා ගියා. ඉන් පසුව කාලෙදී මේ අපේක්ෂාත්වයට කැමති සමහර අය ආරම්භ කර අනික් මන්ත්‍රීවරුන්ට සාකච්ඡා කළා එයාගේ සහයෝගය ලබා ගන්න. එහෙනම් මෙහෙම ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී වාතාවරණයක් තමයි රටේ තිබුණේ. ඊයේ විශේෂයෙන්ම ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ ජනාධිපතිතුමා රටින් පිට වෙලා ගියා. කතානායකතුමාට ඉල්ලා අස්වීමේ ලිපිය දෙනවා කිව්වා. මටත් දැනුම් දුන්නා. එතුමා පිට වී යන බවට. අපි ඒ අවස්ථාවේදී පුදුම වුණේ ලැබිලා තිබුණ සමහර තොරතුරු ගැන බුද්ධ්‍යංශයට.
All right, we just heard the acting President Ranil Wickremesinghe issue a statement over there that this is a fascist move by the protesters, and they are trying to thwart what the parliament actually constitutes in such a situation. For more details, let's go across to Purnima. Purnima, if one were to focus on what the provisions for succession are in Sri Lanka's constitution, it states that if the post of the president actually lies vacant, it has to be the prime minister to actually replace as the interim president. And that is precisely something that is even being highlighted by Ranil Wickremesinghe. Why are protesters calling the move unconstitutional?
Right, actually.
Purnima, can you hear me?
In fact, as per constitution, once Gotabaya Rajapaksa As per constitution, once Gotabaya formally announces his resignation, then the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka will be made the acting president till the parliament convenes and elects a permanent president, and that's the process that will be followed. So basically they want to ensure that Ranil Wickremesinghe does not get an opportunity to act as the interim president, because they think that he is Rajapaksha's man and they don't want any influence on the president, on whoever the president could be, who should not have any influence or any connection with the Rajapakshas. Therefore, resignation for Ranil Wickremesinghe is only growing louder here outside the Prime Minister's office.
Right, Purnima, Ranil Wickremesinghe has also referred to instructions being issued to the security forces amid the curfew that's been imposed and the emergency. Could you also take us through what are those orders being issued to the security forces, especially at a time when they're actually missing from the Prime Minister's residence?
Well, there's no security at the moment. If we can show you what's happening when we go towards the Prime Minister's office, we're not getting signal. But from here, what we can show you is that protesters are allowed to enter. It's only the volunteers from the people who are trying to ensure that people go in queues inside the Prime Minister's office. All the army personnel who were deployed have left the place. There are no security personnel inside and outside the Prime Minister's office. It's now taken over by protesters. They've occupied the Prime Minister's office, and they say that like how they've ensured that Gotabaya Rajapaksa resigns, storming Prime Minister's office is to send across a message that they also want Ranil to step down. They don't want Ranil to be the acting president, and they hope that the parliament convenes at the earliest and appoints a president from one of the parliamentarians and not allow Ranil to take over as acting president. So that's the word that's coming in from these protesters, who many of them have visited the Prime Minister's office and are now returning. So these are the visuals that you can see. Whoever went inside, some of them are now slowly coming out, while on the other side there's a queue to enter the Prime Minister's office. That's the scene unfolding outside the Prime Minister's office. Back to you.
Right, Poonima, we'll keep coming back to you, but this is the latest that we are bringing to you. Protesters have now taken over the Prime Minister's office, and we just heard the acting President Ranil Wickremesinghe in his statement saying that armed forces have been instructed to bring the situation under control. For more details, I'm also joined in by our foreign affairs correspondent Abhishek Jha from the newsroom. Abhishek, of course, the big question remains, how is the situation going to be brought under control now, considering the protesters have already stormed inside the Prime Minister's residence?
Of course, Arunima, and now the